Hello and welcome to this video on taskbar and navigation settings in the control panel. Alright, let's get started. So, what does it do? Well, it allows you to change the settings for the taskbar, change navigation options, change jump lists, which we will go over what they are, and add toolbars to the taskbar. So, getting there, the first way to get there via icon view is just to click on taskbar and navigation. And in category view, you would go to appearance and personalization and then click on taskbar and navigation. So the first tab is the taskbar tab. It allows you to lock the taskbar buttons so they cannot be changed, and it doesn't permanently lock everything. You can move things around. It just makes it hard to accidentally pull something off or something along those lines or make an area too big. Auto-hiding the taskbar allows the taskbar to hide when you're not using it. We will go over this. Make the taskbar smaller does exactly that. Change the taskbar location. Remember, I said the default's usually on the bottom. That's probably where you see it now. However, you can move it to anywhere else, the left side, the right side, or the top. Change how the taskbar buttons function. And that would be this, whether they combine when you get too many or a bunch of the same kinds, etc. And customize the notification area. The next tab would be the navigation tab. This allows you to control what happens to the right sidebar, which is also called the charms bar. Remember that right sidebar that we looked at several videos ago? It's also called charms. And the left sidebar. It's the one over here that allows you to switch between apps. And it also allows you to change the start screen options. The third tab is jump lists. Now, this jump list allows you to see the recently opened files from a program. So to do that, you would right-click on a program icon in the taskbar to see a list of files recently opened with that program. So you know how I have programs on the taskbar. You do too. Let's, for example, say the notepad icon that I had there in the previous video. If I were to go down to it and I were to right-click on it, it would actually show me files that were recently opened, or the most recently opened files from Notepad. And we will go over this in the demonstration. And the final tab is the Toolbars tab. And this allows you to display different toolbars in the taskbar, like the address bar. So if you want to type a web address, links, or have a on-screen keyboard, which is also called a touch keyboard, and other things. So let's do the demonstration. So here we go. We're in the control panel. And yes, I'm going to go to taskbar and navigation. And I'm going to click. And there it is. So I'm going to go over this with you really quickly. So lock the taskbar. If I unlock the taskbar and hit apply, well, you're probably wondering what's going on here. I don't really see anything that's changed. I mean, you can do this now, but couldn't I do that when it was locked? Well, yes, I could. But I can also, when I unlock the taskbar, make it bigger. So it just, when you unlock the taskbar, you can resize it and do all kinds of weird things with it. I like to keep it locked. It just keeps it from accidentally getting resized or something happening to it. Now, auto-hide taskbar. Remember, if I'm not using it, it will hide. There it went. It's gone. So to get it back, I would just go down to the bottom and it just pops right back up. And I'll put the mouse back up. It goes away, and then it comes back. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. I like it to stay up on the screen. However, if you do like it to go away, now you know how to change it. And then use small taskbar buttons. Remember what I said this one does? It makes your taskbar small. So I'm about to hit apply. Watch what happens. Oh, everything got really small. Yeah, you might need pretty good eyes to see that. I don't really like that either. Alright, remember taskbar location on the screen. Default is almost always the bottom, but if you want it somewhere else, say the top, you can do that too. And the notification area, you can customize that as well. What happens to these guys? This is your notification area, remember? You can hit customize and determine what happens to these icons. So if I hit customize, I currently have it to where all of my notifications show up, but I can actually uncheck that and say, I want the Google Chrome notification to only show the notifications, or anything like that. So if I show icon and notifications, it'll always show there, and it'll show any notifications. If you hide it, it'll hide both, or you can have it show only notifications for that. I like to have them all, always show all icons and notifications, but it's up to you. The navigation tab is right here. Remember when I point to the corners? So if I point over here, and here comes the charms bar, or if I go over here and I want to swap between apps, which I don't have any other ones running, and then there's also start screen options. We also have jump lists. So maybe you were a little confused about jump lists, so I said you could go down to a program icon in the taskbar, and now that was actually the preview that came up, but I can point to one and right click, and these are the recent files I've opened with that. I can do that with PowerPoint, I can do that in the control panel one, and they all show me the recent things. That's your jump list. So this is your jump list settings. And then toolbars. If I wanted to add toolbars, say I added the address in a touch keyboard and hit apply, you notice that things appear down here. And I can actually click this to bring up a touch keyboard if I wanted to. There we go. And I can actually click letters and stuff like that to make them appear in whatever I'm typing in. You probably don't need that unless you have a touch device or your keyboard breaks. And I don't really find much use for these very much anymore. However, if you do, well, this is where you get to them. Alrighty, so we went over the taskbar and navigation properties. We've even gone over how they appear and what they do. I hope this helped. Remember, you can rewatch this video if you need to. Make sure you take notes, and I hope this helps. I'll talk to you again soon.